I muted up and that was solid. Solid as a rock. Come on in, y'all. I'm gonna take this copyright strike. Love is. Hey, there's a silly got. Come on through. Solid. Solid as a rock. Hey, hit the like button. Tell me your city and state. Hey, can you hear me? All right. What's up, everybody? Solid as a rock. Anyways, all right, let me get that radio off here because you already know they're gonna give me that copyright. They're gonna give me the copyright. Anyway, so listen, you guys, what's up? This is your girl Ericka from the Classy Climb blog. Hit that like button, drop your city and state in the chat. If you can hear me, make sure you put a 1 in the comments. I want to make sure y'all can hear me. But again, come on through. Let's do it. This one's not gonna be as long as the other one. I have another live show I'm doing later today from the office. I'm out here in the recovering frozen tundra. It's 50 something degrees. Saturday, Sunday, it'll be 70 something degrees. So we'll be fine out here. The handymen have gotten to work. The streets are full of trailers, full of trees. They're picking them up, getting some cash in their pocket. And they're gonna be what? Hey, solid as a rock. Hey, now. That's what we got. All right. Listen, I'm done. I'm stopped. I promise. That was my last time. Every time I hear that song, I think it's Saturday Night Live. Solid as a rock. I think it's gonna be 3 hours from now. So, all right, you guys. What's good? You saw the comment. I put it in the community wall. Everybody was wigging out. You know, they're talking about the Chinese spy balloon. They're talking about everything on the internet. Anything to distract y'all. I'm not worried about the Chinese looking over farms in Wyoming. I'm not. I'm worried what the government doing out there in Wyoming for the Chinese to send a balloon out there. You dig? Okay, that part. Now, back to what we're talking about. $50,000 for a mastermind. So we have this culture where people think they know something, right? You know, remember they were asking, would you like a dinner with Jay-Z or $500,000? So, you know, people have this way out of weird pocket screwed way of thinking. They don't understand the cost. Like they know the cost of everything, but don't know the value of anything, right? It's really people really quick to tell you, oh, I'm never paying for my kids to go to a private school for 20K. I'm never paying for this for 10K. I'm never paying for this for 5K. And that's why you got a bunch of adults out here with bad teeth, bad eyes, can't see, walking around because they're looking for a cheaper way to do something when they just got to pay. That just is what it is, right? So part of what I wanted to take from that post is one of the guys in there was complaining. He has a roofing company. Oh, I'm not paying 50K to nobody because, you know, that isn't going to help me with my roofing. Well, you being on Facebook all day complaining about your roofing company ain't going to help you make no money either. That part. There you go, John. My friend in Georgetown, Texas had a guy come to the door, quote, $550 to pick up the broken limbs on Saturday. He paid up. There you go. Straight up. 100%. People gonna make lots of money out of this storm. We're gonna bring back on Joel, and he's gonna show all the insurance and just or active jobs. I mean, it's crazy, right? Yeah, you have people paying $10,000 for presidential fundraiser meals. The president gonna come by, shake your hand, and keep it pushing. You ain't even hanging with him. You're not even really eating dinner with him. So with that said, just to give y'all some examples. So I paid $7,000 to be in this group in 2019 or 2018. 2019. And the group, the books, the course, everything wasn't even finished, but they helped me get $160,000 in credit, right? Okay. So then I go to the event, the mastermind that they held, that was for the people that were in the course. And everybody in that room, and I've told y'all this story a million times, every person in that room is a millionaire today. I literally can show you 2 or 3 of them, their ads currently running on YouTube for stocks, for this, for that. Some of them don't even do anything public. They don't do anything social media. One guy just owns like a plumbing company. One guy owns a roofing company. One guy was doing social media management, got out of that and bought a dude's business because why? He had joined the $7,000 program, got business funding at 0% interest, was able to hard money lend his way into owning a company. When people talk about, I would pay $50K to speak to somebody for an hour or two, of course not. That's some dumb stuff. You know, you guys are really pushing the limits of dumb on the internet. I don't know why y'all keep doing it, but you are. Part of why I'm saying this is a lot of people say, well, Ericka, you're talking down to people, you're being mean. And no, there's just, we live in a society where a lot of people walk around ignorant and blind, and they think everybody should be okay with that. No, we don't have to be. That's why people pay to get away from you. They pay to be in rooms. They pay to be in separate locations. They pay to be in neighborhoods with gates. They know there's levels to this. 80% of Americans don't want to do better. They just want to show up to a job, goof off online, and keep moving about their day. That's cool. So then you hire managers to manage that silliness. Then you hire a manager over them to manage those managers. I mean, that's just how it be, right? So back to the mastermind. So I spent $7K. Was $7K worth being in a room with people that I can call that not only help do bridge loans to each other, but help each other get credit cards? There was a banking representative, a credit card representative. Was $7,000 okay? Right? Right? Oh, there you go, Chief Rocker. Was $7,000 okay? Would you guys pay $7,000 to get $160,000? Put that in the chat. Let me know, yes or no. Would you pay $7,000 to get $160,000? It's a simple question. Now, let's kick it up a notch. $1,000 Apex Entourage, right? They basically give you the first emails when they've been ready to do events, and you get like 4 accountability calls, Zoom calls with people in a week. Now, you're going to say, Ericka, oh, why would I want to have accountability calls? Why would I have Zoom calls? Because here's the thing. Those accountability Zoom calls, you're going to be in a room full of people pushing to do better. Why does this matter? Because the force of average. You're running around with a bunch of folks that are below average. Listen, I know it hurts. I know, Ericka, you're talking down to people. You're being so mean. Listen, I really am not. The average person reads on an 8th grade level. Let me say that again. The average person reads on an 8th grade level. The average African-American person reads below that, according to their tests, right? Again, you know, we're very gifted, talented, but again, some of these tests don't help. They in loud classrooms and busy children. I mean, again, there's a whole conversation we can have on that. But long story short, you're paying for what you don't know. Let's just do this math. This guy had a speech when we were at a real estate event, and he said, how much did you make last year? How much did it cost you to not make $1 million last year? Most people say, well, I made 70K, I made 100K, I made 120. Okay, subtract that from 100, subtract that from $1 million. It cost you 900,000 not knowing. That's really what it is. It costs you 900,000 not knowing, because when you really sit in some of these rooms, and I'm gonna just give you the next one, 25K. There was a mastermind for 25K, right? Gary Vee comes in there regularly to the events and speaks to people because it's in New York. Comes in there, talks, what's up? Hey, what's your business doing? Hey, da-da. Is it worth it to keep bumping into Gary Vee every other month, talking to him freely in a circle? Right? Maybe not, right? There was another one that was 25K and you got 2 a year. What is 2 a year? You got two, I think it's like 2 times to go on the private plane with 6 people, 2 times to go to places in Cabo, Mexico, use the mansion, 2 times to go up north, go in basketball stadium studios, you know, the suites, use the content studio for a year, right? You know, again, there was another one was 50K. And so people are like, I would never pay 50K to talk to people. That's crazy. Okay, again, 50K. They literally had a banking rep there from several banks directly setting up their accounts. They literally helped with credit card representatives setting up their accounts. They literally had mansions you could borrow 2 or 3 times a year. They had private planes you could take 6 to 8 people up on 2 or 3 times a year. They had basketball suites, football suites. They had all these things that were included in you in the mastermind on top of being in the room with people, because there reaches a level, right? There reaches a level, okay, where you're making 50K a month. Your conversations are not like everybody else, because they're not talking about ad spend, they're not talking about taxes, they're not talking about a lot of things, not talking about worse of employees. There's a reason why people burn out and just go, oh man, I'd rather not have no employees, because they're not properly structuring their business. So sometimes people make a lot of money in a flash, but they can't sustain the business because they don't know something. So they pay 25K or 20K to get in these rooms or have a consultant work down their business. And again, the one mastermind that was 50K, this was a year-long mastermind. And they came, set up your business, interviewed the people for you, filled your office up, and kept you pushing. I just told you the other day, Credit Irene had charged 10K to a customer, and I said it was too low. She set up their website. She set up all their intake, their funnels, their forms, their email, their marketing, everything. All they had to do was just show up and do the taxes. Show up, do the calls, and do the taxes. That's it. I told her that's a business in a box. That's 20K easy. People would pay that. Shit, for 10K, I told her I would pay somebody. I would pay her, open an office, hire 2 ladies, let them do the taxes and let them do the phones. Because at the end of the day, I know I'm going to make a meal off that. Let's keep it a buck, right? A lot of folks don't really want to hear that because that means they have to spend some money. Well, Ericka, so many Americans make less than. That's your choice. If you're making 40K, because that's your mindset is at 40K. Ericka, I'm stuck at 100K. Well, that's your mindset. You got 33. This is updated. Last year's census. 34% of homes make 100K total for the year. So when people say, "Oh, it's the money," okay, we got 1 in 3 homes making 100K a year. We literally have 1 in 3 homes making 100K a year. Well, Ericka, they could have a lot of people living there. They could have a lot of people living in there. Da, 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 da. Yeah. So again, when people try to tell you the cost of everything and they know the value of nothing, please go read that quote. I don't know the original name of the person, but it's a truth. Because now what I'm seeing is, well, I wouldn't pay somebody 5K if they don't know what they're doing. 5K ain't shit. Like, the more money you make, the more you realize you would pay 5K to have a person work in your office every day and learn anyway. Or do you want to pay 5K to these ad guys over here and let them do what they do best from the remote office in Florida somewhere chilling? But your stuff is still running, right? So again, this is a lot of people bumping their head, trial and error. That's why when you see these people, they say, well, Ericka, why would these people sell their businesses? Because they built themselves a prison, or they built themselves a job, or they built themselves in a way that they can't really succeed or have true vacations. I told the audience, I know a girl who takes a vacation every month, and she makes sure her staff takes 2 a year. Period. Like, they have to take it, mandatory. And people go, oh, that's ridiculous, all these vacations people are taking. No, if you're doing above average than the local community, the local person, yeah, you should take more vacations. If you're somebody making 250K a year, you're probably working in a job that requires a lot of you. So there was a Black couple, and here's the anger. The pushback is, I can't afford it. No one should afford that. That's stupid. That's ridiculous. No, that's you being upset. That's you being upset at where you are in life. They have two TikTok channels, Instagram channels that I love. You can also find them on YouTube. One's called Salary Transparency, and the other one's called Income Report. So they go around doing street interviews, asking people how much they make, and you can tell some people either hold back or say too much, and people go, oh, they must be lying. Well, you can go find the actual person on LinkedIn. You can go find everything about them almost. Right? They do these street interviews where they had a Black couple in Atlanta. They asked them both what they do. They're software cloud engineering. The man's making 120. The woman's making 120. They're both remote from home. They're making 240. Now, everybody's like, that's too low. They should be making more money. Now, that Black couple may be making 150, 160, but they scared to say it in public, right? Because some people might be acting a little crazy. So that couple making 240 a year, yes, there's taxes. Yes, they could have an expensive home in Atlanta. They could even have expensive cars. But if they make that, because they've both been working there for 6 years, if they make that for 6 years, you don't think they found ways to invest the rest of their money? You don't think they found ways to put their money in 10, 12, 15% returns? Which is why we're teaching the class, Classic Climate Investment, 15 to 30% returns on your money. Again, people be like, well, just post it, Eric. Just tell us where you're getting the investments. You don't know. Even if I post it, you'd be lost. That's why we put together these live trainings, because, again, it's not financial advice. I'm just telling you what I do. I'm just telling you what people around me do. I'm just showing you the math. I'm showing you the charts. I'm showing you how oil and gas right now, cheaper than it'll ever be, to invest in actual oil rigs, 20, 30K. And they send you a check every month. and you can go visit it and keep it pushing. People ain't ready for that though. Why? Because they don't even have 20, 30K to even do something with. Okay. All right. So then even here, the problem with this space in general is many Black folks are stuck in a social class that their great grandparents or grandparents lived in. This is about proximity and being in the know. Why did I want to bring that up? I went to an event the other day, and this is not even trying to be funny. It was free. It was a builders expo for absolutely 100% free. They just need people to register. Well, what happened? It was a storm in Austin. So those people didn't show up, right? We were able to get not only hard money lenders, private money lenders, GCs, contractors, roofing, windows, doors. All of the people were very, very extra helpful. Why? Because they just chilling. They had to pay to be at the event. This storm happened, so not that many people showed. So then now they have more time to do what? Be forward. Be ready. Give you 100% service. It's about proximity. It's actually knowing people. So there's several people. The funny thing is, there's several people, and it really was funny. There's several people who've made $30 million in the past 3 years. Black people. And they can't say they made 30 million. I know exactly who they are. I've been in some events. They can't say it in public. People would attack them. They would be robbed. They would be mobbed. They would be hurt. They would be assaulted. So they go, yeah, how to make $1 million a year, how to make 2 million. They say these really low numbers, even though they've made 30 million in the past 3 years because of the way the economy was. We know it. And now they're at a different level where they're angel investing. They're investing in restaurants. They're investing in franchises. They're doing all kind of stuff. Right? But you can't really talk about that freely because people are in such a dangerous and low mindset, right? I showed there's a picture on the community wall where HEB refrigerators went out at one of the HEBs down south. No, up north. And once it's over, once the refrigeration's down for 4 hours, everything got to go outside. Everything got to be dumped, tossed, got rid of. So they nicely, neatly stacked everything outside, what they were supposed to do anyway. And people came by the thousands to grab food that had been unrefrigerated for hours. That's sitting outside in the cold, yes, off the ground and out the dumpsters. I got the pictures. I put the pictures up on the community wall. Should be posting in maybe an hour or two. Y'all, that's crazy. We already had a storm a year ago. You're telling me you don't have rice and beans at your house? You're telling me you don't have a generator? I have a battery jumper. I have a battery jumper for semi trucks. I have a battery jumper for cars. I have a couple different other items at my disposal. And I tell people, like, you didn't go grab one from the last storm? Oh, no, I didn't. They got a garage full of shit. Didn't grab one from the last one? Okay, cool. So now that I know that, and how will most people make money? They make money because you're lazy. They make money because you don't want to think. They make money because I'm just tired, I'm so tired. I can't think, my energy's low. Okay, why aren't you taking vitamins? Why aren't you drinking more water? Oh, vitamins cost so much. No, they don't. I literally went by Walgreens in December and all the vitamin shelves were discounted, low prices, 2 for $1. Why? Because last year and the year before they sold a lot more because of what? The bid. So people had their health first of mind. Like, let me buy these vitamins to take care of myself. So our society is based off demand. So we know you're going to be last minute to buy tickets to a concert the day before. That's why we have ticket resellers that make a lot of money, on average $10K a month, right? Just ticket reselling. That's the national average. Go look up they have their incomes out there. Look up their incomes. That's why you have people flipping homes, reselling homes, right? They're going to go in, they're going to clean up the kitchen and clean the kitchen and the bathrooms because they know you won't buy that house because it doesn't look like it's off HGTV. So they're going to make the squeeze money off that deal because you don't want them to work on a project. Everybody knows that, right? When it comes to restaurants, late night restaurants, they're going to charge more. Why? Because they know you have late. You want to eat. Right? Everything in our society makes money off you being last minute, not making a decision, not planning. Let me tell you the flip side. Inside these masterminds, you go in that room and you go on several trips with people who are already planned out the year. I'm not even joking that I was in a group and in October, they were like, what's the plan for next year? Show me your calendar. Show me your accountability. Right? You had to show it. right? I was in a group. You had to print out your wait-ins every week. Go wait in and turn it in. I'm getting ready to spend this big $6K to be in this women's group where you have to, one, they take a lot of your blood, they check you, they do this stuff, they give you these supplements. It's that cutting edge healthcare I was telling y'all about, where you're seeing people drop 50, 80 pounds. You're like, how is this possible? Because they're in upper echelons of groups and in the knowing. You're not in the knowing. You know the price of everything, but you don't know the value. Oh, well, that's 5K. I'd never spend that. That's ridiculous. You're telling me you wouldn't spend 5 to 10K for somebody to give you a business in a box and keep it pushing? There's people I know right now built content studios for about 5K, decorate it, put some stuff on the wall here or there, and they keep renting those out to people for $175 an hour. Why? Because people don't think long term. Well, I'm just going to make a couple of my podcasts here at this office. I'm going to make a couple of my videos here at this office. And the person who owns it is making a killing. But they wouldn't have known about that business or how to structure things or how to use certain places without what? A mastermind group. And they don't all cost 50K. They don't all cost 25K. They don't all cost 7. They don't all cost 1,000. But I promise you, the force of average will have you where you are. If you listen, the first thing, this is how I know somebody's in force of average. Oh, how you feeling? Man, I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good for myself. Compared to what? Well, compared to my mom, compared to my brothers, compared to my cousins, compared to some homeless dude on the street. At least I'm not homeless, you know, that kind of thing. Or I'm just an average guy. Okay, well, why would you want to be that? Why would you want to be the least? Why would you want to be the least? Why? That doesn't make sense. You got to value yourself. And what happens is you get in the room with people who've actually started creating businesses, hiring people, pushing themselves, working out, paying extra money for this healthcare stuff. Man, you get in the room with them. It's like, oh, you having a problem with this bank? Let me call my friend. I went to this one bank that the people in my mastermind group recommended me to. I go over there. I said, oh, yeah, I just came from cryotherapy. Oh, where? Over there? Oh, yeah, over there. Oh, that's so-and-so's plaza. And that's his business. We gave him the loan for that plaza and that business. Are you also trying to buy a plaza? But that wouldn't have happened if I hadn't been in the mastermind group and I hadn't gone to the cryotherapy and I hadn't gone to that particular bank and I hadn't gone to that particular person at the bank, the representative that was delivering it for me. But because people are like, I can learn that off YouTube, Ericka. No, you can't. You can't learn relationships off Facebook and off YouTube. I know. I'm stepping on the toes of relationship people. Can you learn tips and tricks? Yes. Be careful. You can learn some tips and tricks on relationships, but at the end of the day, you have to actually act those things out. So I know single people try to give the best advice on relationships. They ain't been in a relationship in 10 years. If the advice is so good, why you aren't in one? Why you can't find a high vibrational being to be in a relationship with? If you're that talented, if you worked out your crap. Because they don't want to talk about that. That means they'd have to do the work. So that's the point of masterminds, to be in a room with people that are actually doing the work, that are actually progressing in life. There's just levels to it that you don't even want to sit in a room with people who are like, yeah, I'm hoping my boss give me a couple more hours. To do what with? So I can have some drinking money. So I can buy Beyonce tickets. The same people crying about eggs was crying about Beyonce tickets. You don't got money for eggs, but you got money for Beyonce tickets. These same people can't pay no money to send their child to a private school. Let me tell you, earlier today, and I'm gonna wrap this up here in about 10 minutes. Earlier today, I saw an advertisement, and it was for an academy for 6th to 12th grade. And I was listening to it. I'm like, okay. And it was an Asian dude talking. I'm listening to it, and I'm like, oh my God. He's basically saying in the commercial, it was a long commercial, but it was a good one. He was in the classroom. He was like, from 6th to 12th grade, we're going to get your kid on these 3 different traits they need to make it as an adult. And we're going to fast track them to these type of schools. Now, he was talking about Ivy League schools and these certain upper echelon schools. And I know already the thinking of the parents that got money, that know, listen, Grant Cardone, let me tell you, my kids can only go to 3 schools. This one, Howard, Brown, Columbia, whatever, right? They pick the school, Yale, Harvard. Why? Because it's a pedigree usually going there. It's a trajectory of wealthy families usually going there. It's a smaller circle of people going in there. Your son and daughter are going to bump into marry somebody, and it's going to be generational. The Bushes, The Obama daughters gonna bump in and marry and date somebody whose family's in government contracting or in government something and have money. The circle gets smaller. So I'm watching this commercial here in Austin, Texas, where the guy's marketing you this academy for 6th to 12th grade because they already know if I just put your child on this trajectory, they're gonna coast through life unless they mess it up. Unless they mess it up, they'll coast through life. Because they just need to be here, into this right room. That's it. Again, why do people go to some of these schools in California? It's for the startups. It's for the brainiacs that they bump into and do startups there. I mean, it's not for the school, right? Somebody selling you on a football team and all the other stuff, that's silly. That's extra. That's a plus. But really, it's the connections. Period. Hands down. It's the connections. Let me see where. Let me see. I'm sorry. There you go. Oscar Wilde once said, "A fool is someone who knows the price of everything and the value of nothing." That's 100%, y'all. There's a lot of fools online who tell you, well, the price of this, the price of that, and if you go overseas, you do this. I put a post in the community wall to come up later today. It was a man who was smart enough from prison to fill out the PPP loan and get $40,000. What did he do when he came out of jail? He took that money and went on vacations, bought Gucci, Louis, and some bags. Now, listen, I said in the comments, he should have left the country. If he was smart enough from prison to get 40K out of PPP loan, he should have took that for it. People say, oh, that's not enough. There are people like literally battling me on Facebook. That's not enough money to leave the country. It's not. Again, people create these barriers in their mind. When I just showed you the other day, the young lady took her and her baby and spent $1,300 and got up out of America. And it was $380 for the flight. And it was $250 for the travel to the new place, and $500 a month for the rent. So people are telling you with 40K they can't do it. Well, I can't make it because I don't have enough money. That's up here. It's up here. It's the thinking. So again, when I post stuff, well, I'm not gonna pay for a mastermind for somebody to teach me how to sell courses. That's goofy shit. You sound goofy and you sound bitter. You sound salty. A lot of people have a skill. If someone's a doctor and they're gonna teach the next person how to be a doctor, they shouldn't be compensated for it. That's crazy. If somebody has a legit skill and they master how to miss all the mistakes and skip all this headache and give you the skill 1 through 3, 1, 2, 3. You don't want that? That's how crazy that is. You think you know the price of something and you know the value of nothing because you don't have anything. This is why every time someone posts something over $1,000, you're itching, your butt's itching, you're crying. Oh my God, Beyonce sold $2,000 tickets. Yeah, that's for the front, but she had $600 tickets in the back. $600, that's crazy. I can't do it. But watch, you'll have school teachers. You'll have all kind of people affording to go to Beyonce show. I ain't never been to Beyonce show. Country music is my cup of tea, but y'all already know that. So again, you got people who are in lower economics echelons finding a way to find the money. So it's all about focus, right? Do you have a class on how to buy land and homestead? I don't, Bob. There is an affiliate I'm trying to bring on and work with for them to come talk to y'all as an audience. We'll see if that gets done before I go on my vacation, but I'm gone. I'm gone, baby. I went to enough little masterminds things to kind of chart my way to a certain number of dollars and chart my way off YouTube full time. I'm doing it. I love YouTube. It makes a ton of money. It's a very lucrative business. But when you're dealing with people, you're talking to people, you're interacting, and you're doing it without running ad spend, it's like, ooh, this is slow butter churn. No thanks. Many of our great-grands made it happen, and I know because it was a case in my family, but the end of boomers Gen X didn't take the mantle and run, leaving millennials to have to overcome it. Yeah, they're basically showing you have to do it over and over again. I have a video later today, and I know the title is saucy, is the end of the middle class, and why are people suffering in the middle class, and I know the reasons why. We're gonna do a whole show on it. I'm gonna bust out the numbers when I get to office. But you have the power to change that. You don't have to suffer, but that takes you deciding that, right? They always think folks are lying about Donnie Breeze. They literally are itching in the comments. They're like having hives. You know why? Because that means they have to be accountable for their life choices. That means they have to be accountable for why they're making 40K and someone that looks just like them, shaped like them, their age is making 120K a year. Well, it's because he was in college and his parents, they must have wealthy parents and they must have it. No. And every day, and again, this girl made this post and she said, some of y'all are mad because people are actually living the lives they say they live and you hate it. You can't figure it out. Listen, I'll get some of y'all on the phone. I go, okay, how many trips you plan to take next year? How many nights you plan to do this? How many times you plan to work out? How many times like, people don't know. They have no clue what they're doing next week. So me talking about let's get a calendar and let's sit down and strategize your next year, that scares them because I'm asking them to actually hold themselves accountable and make it happen. I went to the gym today. I did not want to go, but I had to go because I'm holding myself accountable, right? I got to get on the plane. Got to get stuff done. You just have to hold yourself accountable and people don't want that. But guess what? When you're in a group where nobody's holding themselves accountable, and I'm going to say this, and there was an article on this and people got mad when I shared it on the channel. It showed that when women lose significant weight, they lose friends. And here's the two reasons why. Because your friends are usually a force of average of what you all do. Y'all eat out, y'all overweight, that's what y'all gonna do. If one friend starts working out a lot and going up hills and doing trips and doing stuff, the expectation is I either have to change to stay friends with that person or it makes me self-possessed. Why am I this way? Right? And so you see article after article, when people want to change just a little bit, they lose a lot of friends, and that's why people stay stuck. I've had countless calls with men in their 40s and 50s. You know, I want to do this, but I don't know anybody to do. Why don't you go in a room where people are doing it? Why don't you go look on Meetup where people are doing it? Why aren't you going online looking for where people are doing that? You want to do that? It has to be part of your day. Well, I got these kids and my wife. You're telling me one day a week you can't go to a Meetup event on real estate that's free? Your wife and kids are stopping you from doing that? Nah, sir. Don't do that. Don't blame your wife and kids for living a life you don't love. Don't do that. I see men all the time at the gym at 9:30 to 10:30 when I used to go late at night. I go earlier now on purpose with my accountability group. And I see them go late at night and they're just sitting on the machines, just on their phones. And grown men in their 40s. And my friend said, oh yeah, this is the bullshit hour. That's what he calls it. He's like, this is the bullshit hour where you come and you talk to other dudes in here and you sit on the machines and you get a break from your family and you're just in here bullshitting. Body not changing, weight not coming down, sitting on machines, goofing off, talking about sports, looking at the TVs. It's bullshit hour. So he said, Ericka, I want you to never go back to the gym at bullshit hour. Save that for the people who are hiding out from their family for an hour. You go in the morning with the soccer moms that got to squeeze in an hour. You go in the morning with the business people that got to get up and do it in the morning to get it over with. You get up in the morning, you finish it. Because then you got the rest of the day to do whatever you want to do. Don't wait till the last minute when you might not feel like it, when you already ate dinner and you're already tired. But all this requires planning. People don't want to plan. Simple as that. Let me see. Pantry stock. Yeah, your pantry should be stocked. Facts. I know a bulk futures trader that was told to stop showing people he was doing like 10K a week because that would scare people away. Yes. Diamond Dave. Yes. I sat through some training that basically told everybody in the room, do not ever, and if you're not digital real estate students, you can hear this. But we'll talk more about it in my live training in February. Never tell people over 10K a month. For the whole month, just say, would you like to make 5K to 10K a month? Or would you like to make an extra 1,000 a month? He said any number higher than that, people think it's a scam. Even now, I have a class, I have a live training coming up. I say get 15 to 30% returns. We have emails from y'all emailing Enrique saying, well, this sounds sketchy. This sounds, oh my gosh. When there's naturally a ton of ways to get 15 to 30% returns. Even the marketing for apartment folks who have apartment syndications, they're like, you can get 108% returns. They're like, oh, you shouldn't put that in your marketing. People won't believe it. But they're actually getting that off their money. They give 50K to the syndicator. In about 3 years, they'll get another 50K back out. And in the meantime, they're getting $1,000 to $1,500 monthly payments. until the apartment refinances. That's why people were so into apartment syndications. But if you tell people that, you actually get them, they can't take it. There's one trader that I think Xavier Miller recorded. He has a podcast with him, and the guy did 400,000 in one day. But then he had either terrible trades or a bad something for the rest of the next 2 months. It was crazy. I even watched a video on a guy who made 150,000, and not even 3 months later, he was busting tables for $2 an hour. Why? Because when your mind is not ready and you're not in a group of people that tell you what to do with that 250, how to hold that 250, you will mess it up. I have a client right now. He made a bunch of money as a wholesaler, was super excited, right? Took that money and tied it up into 2 flips. He was like, I'm gonna go big or go home. So all his money is tied up in 2 flips. He happened to be at the same time when the city of Austin decided, oh, we need to re-examine that. We need to re-inspect your apartment. We need to do another inspection. Oh, we need to delay it. Oh, well, we don't want to prove that. So he's had this money ball he collected from doing really well at wholesaling, put it in these 2 properties. Now, when these 2 properties do officially get finished and sell, he will have, if they both sell at the same time, he'll have a close to $1.7 million in his pocket total, right? Again, gross, not net, you know what I mean? But let's just go there, right? But when you don't listen, and when you don't get around other people who have told them, oh man, don't put all your money there. Take your money, put it in this bank over here down the street in Austin, because they give 100% for the construction. They do this, they do that, they do these type of loans. If you don't know that, because you refuse to spend any money on figuring out what groups of people know things or how to get in certain circles, you're going to be locked out. Period. You're locking yourself out. I literally am going to Grant Cardone's 10X, and the next day he has a $5,000 mastermind. And people are like, oh, that's terrible. Grant's just milking people for the money. And I'm like, I've actually been to Grant Cardone's 10X and sat in a room and got cards from actual business people and bankers who were like, I'm just here because I know there's some people here with some bank statements, some tax returns, that I can get some loans through. That's why he was there. He was not there to listen to Grant Cardone either. He was there because he's like, I know there's hitters in this room. I've gone to Grant Cardone things and seen women pay money, dressed to the nines. And I asked her what kind of business she has. Oh, I'm a little bit of a coach. Nah, sis and white girl sis is there to get a man who's in that room, who spent the money, who want to be there. Some of the best married couples I've met, go-getters, be at them events. They be at the after party, they be at the gala, dance, and all that stuff. Grant Cardone used to have a thing called 50 for 50. And he took 50 people who paid $50,000 on 3 vacations a year. Do you not think those people in that room conversation with each other on those 3 different events, those 3 different vacations, had different level conversations than everybody else you know? You better damn believe it. Better believe it. If I went to a small mastermind where I paid literally $150 for my spot because we had already paid $7,000 to be in the class, every person, all 47 people in that room, that big ass house we were in, are millionaires. I can literally go through the photo that I use in a lot of the marketing here and point out each person. Kamar Johnson, I've had him on the channel much time. A couple of the guys, I can point them out and show you where they have agencies and firms, and they got groups, and they got all kind of stuff. Half of them are even private. Like, they did social media marketing for 2 years. By the time they made literally $2 million, they're like, this, I don't have to deal with people. I can go be behind the scenes. I can go be a hard money lender. I can go put money behind the scenes of business. I can go buy a company or 2 and let it just run. Same thing with Apex Entourage. That's why these people don't discuss it, because the amount of hate y'all give off of the information that they give for fucking free is so strong, because it fucks up your narrative. It really, like, you have to start looking at yourself. Oh, the storm came and took all the food away. We had a storm last year. You didn't buy a generator that just could put for your deep freezer? They got one, y'all. It's like a $180 one that you can sit in the sunlight, or you can charge it with a battery plugged to the wall. So you sit it outside for the rest of the day. Come put it in your garage and have your deep freezer running. Right? But people don't think like that. They got a house full of junk, crap they can't use, stuff that's not even important. Again, we let the people out here have opinions because they don't do shit with their life. We let a lot of people have opinions and they ain't doing nothing with their life. because that's how the internet works. But that's okay. Man, there's so many, but it depends on your blood, Levante. There's a book called It's in the Blood. This is why a lot of these doctors can't even talk. And what's funny is some of the doctors you see on those infomercials that people think are scams, they literally have the best stuff. If you look at Grant Cardone's 10X Health, they doing IV bags full of vitamins. They doing a cocktail mixture, but they're basing it off your blood. That's the part y'all don't understand. They're getting your blood. Oh, you're short. This. We're gonna give you a cocktail of this. Here you go. So you can't just name one. It doesn't work like that. Facts. I couldn't find any vitamin C or zinc in 2020 at CVS. Yeah, people came in there and wore it out. $35, you can buy a bag that fits in your tub and you can fill it with water, 100 gallons. Take it. Homeschooling is better and cheaper. Yeah. Let me read these comments. I gotta get up out of here. I gotta go. It's not expensive. Yeah. Nah, hell no. If you stole from you stole from the government, 40K from the PPP, and you dumb enough to be in jail when you do it, but you're smart enough to figure out how to fill that paperwork out, you need to leave the country. Because they coming for you. Diana Ross tickets sold for the same price and nothing but a sea of white folks would be out in the audience. And they ain't complaining. They're like, Diana, yes. Yes, Miss Ross. Oh my God. I went to go see Lionel Richie. Man put on a show for 3 hours. I was tired when he was done. I was like, I got to go to bed. Again, this is crazy. Hit the like button. There's 322 people here, 77 likes. Shame on y'all. Shame on ya. I lost 47 pounds and my friends started working out. I told them what I did, but they have not changed their habits. It hasn't hurt enough yet. And some people have decided that's the road they want to be on. Right? I have male friends who lose 50 pounds and they'll tell all their guy friends what they're doing. Hey man, come to the gym with me, do this, do that. None of them show up. Men do it too. It's not just women. Men do it too. Because, oh man, you know, my wife, they find somebody to blame for their behavior. They make time for what they want. EYL talked about when they came meet Steve Harvey and Robert Smith. It pays to be around certain people. You already know. The man said he didn't want to invest because he thought he made so much progress in something else. He was broke. The man told him it was best to lose the past 2 years of progress than to waste the next 30 years. That part. I'm kind of side with the 15K scam nurses. They at least usually get a fake license. I can't. Am I doing a lot of cursing today? I really don't care, y'all. I don't. Like, if y'all understood, I'm a big believer in the power of pay it forward. And if you can't hear the message because the way I say it, or Ericka, you said it in the way that hurts my feelings. When I come on YouTube every day and there's white men cussing at y'all, I mean, there's literal white men going, F you, dude. Yada, yada, you're a piece of shit. Like, I literally see white content creators cursing, yelling, calling their people a piece of all kind of stuff. And y'all don't be like, yes, yes. That's why I laugh, because I already know it's the skin color. It's I'm a woman. It's a couple reasons, and that's okay. When you finally get over that, I hope it works for you. Eat right by your blood type. Yeah. How do you get access to that type of healthcare? It's out there. I mean, literally, like I'm joking about 10X Health, but there's a lot of like doctors that you'll see them and people are like, oh, that's ridiculous. They'll be like, how to lose 50 pounds, and people are like, oh, that's ridiculous. Or let's say by the blood. I mean, again, if you're in, I can't name off stuff because again, I'm not a licensed nutritionist professional, whatever that's, you know what I mean? Like, but essentially, like, if you're in some of my live claims, I may have dropped a name or two. So yeah, how to install backup generator, all this stuff. Man, Donovan, I lost 57 pounds in 1 year and lost my circle of friends. Yeah, it does happen. It actually does happen, because it's extreme accountability, right? I had a one guy friend. He was an engineer, and he's still a cool, great guy. Another family, I love him. He was 41 going on 42, and he said every time he came to work, all these guys were miserable. They're engineers, they're single, they got a house, they got a car, but they're miserable because they thought getting these things would get them a woman, basically. And he said, well, I'm gonna start taking up dancing, two-step. I'm gonna start doing all this stuff. I'm gonna get me a girlfriend. I'm gonna actively try to date. And he had a guy group of like 3 or 4 of the guys. He's the only guy married. The other guys were like, well, they're not skinny enough, they're not young enough, they're not this. Like they kept finding reasons they could never find any women. And he's like, I found a girl 11 years younger than me, and I wasn't even planning to date that young. It's a decision. People have made decisions when it comes to relationships, all this stuff, because it sounds nice on paper. Oh yeah, I'm this, I'm that. But when you have to actually implement and be in a relationship with somebody, that part, people don't want to do that. Ericka's sorry if she offended some of you. She meant to offend all of you. Literally, I be wanting to offend everybody because I just know. I just know. I've been out here long. Earned a BS in cybersecurity and offered 6 weeks, 6 figures every week on LinkedIn. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like the information's out there. It's really a choice at this point. I did the video with Dr. Dix talking about the race for just accredited adults that just try. Really, that's what it is. You know what I mean? So when people get on the phone, man, I really have to go, what's the root of your problem? Right? And people try to tell me all this other stuff. I'm like, no, get to the root. I'm not a licensed therapist or nothing like that, but let's get to the root of your problem. Yes, your problem's money, but why is it money? What's your why on your why on your why on your why? You know what I'm saying? It's really like it. You'll be surprised how many people are like fighting. They pay to talk to me on the phone, and they're still fighting. Like, I'm like, look, it's up to you. It's up to you. So listen, is the 50,000 mastermind worth it? Yes, I've been in mastermind groups for less, and people gave me 10 and 20K bridge loans, and I turned around and gave them the money right back. I've I've had mastermind groups where, I mean, I have one partnership getting ready to come up, and we're going to partner together, and it's going to be a brand new LLC, and they get 10% off everything off the top of that new company coming out, and they're going to pretty much do all the work. That's what's so crazy about it, because y'all are complaining about these things, and you literally have people who are like just trying to teach it to somebody. You have people in their 50s with no kids, and the best joy they get out of life is sometimes being able to teach somebody something, right? Because I come on here and I talk to y'all, but it's the responses, the emails like, Ericka, oh my God, I got the job. Ericka, I got my credit up 90 points. Ericka, oh my God, this. I'd be like, for sure. It's changing lives. That's what makes it fun to do this. And do it for so long, right? And you'll see that everywhere you go up, like the higher income you go up, there's always some millionaire dude who's trying to kick you a bone. Oh, hey, you need this? Here, let me help you. Here, let me give you this. Hey, you like this? Let me do this for you. It's out there. People don't want to believe it, but they don't go looking for you. You got to be ready. The teacher appears when you're ready. People don't want to hear that now. So, yeah, with all this Netflix and chill, reading and trying is hard, apparently. You know? Oh man, my friend is short and married a woman 4 inches taller than him. And so it really, and 11 years younger. And so I always tell people, are you trying? They're out there. Are you trying? So anyways, you guys, this is your Ericka from the Classic on Blog. I have another show coming up. I may be a little delayed. We had to go get the Ring camera and store it at the office. But long story short, we'll be talking about the middle class and money and investing and all that good stuff. I hope this was helpful. I hope this was educational. I support 50K masterminds. I support 25. Now, the one I got coming up, working with somebody, I only pay 25, and it's going to change my life and theirs. And so I'm very blessed and grateful and thankful. So anyways, you guys, this is your girl Ericka. Have a wonderful evening.